Traders from around the world, this is your boy Bob Kerbell. My man is just an absolute legend. He's a pro. I'm up here in, is this Michigan?
This is Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Here in Wisconsin, about to knock out the stock review. We just got here, and let's dive into your Wednesday real-life stock review and talk about what we're looking at today. You guys rock.
Thank you.
All right, traders. So, yep, me and Bob are going to be just absolutely wrecking the market for the next 2 or 3 days, learning, educating, asking questions, diving in, selling options, talking options, buying options, day trading. It's going to be phenomenal. This man's an absolute legend. SPY took another small little dip today and kind of an interesting overall move the last 2 or 3 days. So I'm one of the first to admit when I'm just massively wrong. Back over here on Monday, I was like, I think we might bounce. We did not. I was 100% incorrect on that, so which means I did not get a chance to play much at all yesterday or today because, again, I'm just looking for trying to track down some type of bullish opportunity. One thing I want to make sure that everyone is aware of when you are buying, when you are a bull, when you are looking for spots to get in, you always feel like an absolute moron, idiot, and doofus when you are trying to buy and it's just selling off right in front of your face at all times. My goal in this particular video is to make sure that we look over some stocks, we talk about what you want to look at, we talk about some stocks that are setting up to potentially buy, and one big thing, make sure you do it with small size. Because this, could it keep going? Absolutely. Stocks can do anything they want, so we have to have risk controlled at all points in time. But this still does seem very similar to just kind of back here in February, this really, really fast sell-off. We are in, after all, February, and this was an all-time high back over here, and we were just screaming higher for days and days in a row. So at some point, I think we can get a little bit more sell-off, but realistically, we're probably pretty close to this type of candle that came in on February 9th. And you can see since then we did nothing but go higher eventually. And it takes time, takes some rotation, but we got there. So back over to the SPY. Not quite a high wave candle, but here's the Qs. And the Qs is a perfect high wave candle. So what I did today on the Qs is I actually sold some puts, 205 for this Friday, 195 for next Friday, and 185 for March, because I do not mind owning the Qs down at those levels. So what I am doing is I'm looking for spots to buy. I am selling volatility at this particular point in time, and I have thrown away my perma bull hat for right now. I am 100% prepared, able, willing, and capable to just absolutely smash some bear movement if we get some big drops tomorrow, or if we bounce tomorrow, we're going to play call options and we're going to make a killing. Long-term moving averages, we still got room to go into the 100 on the Qs. That's a big deal. Granted, we are hitting a really strong fib target. We are getting to an end of a wave count for me. So, consolidating, resting, and pulling back up here makes loads of sense. We will see what happens. We'll find out what occurs. Here's some stocks I do have some setups on, just letting you know. Casper Sleep, everyone sleeps. CSPR, look at that hammer, got it set up, ready to see if it pops out. We'll find out later. DDOG, DDOG, looking for a breakout above 45.84, because right now this trend in the stock is holding up pretty well for the most part. Target, TGT, my buddy David Wygant messaged me today mentioning that if China has a lot of supply issues, they might not be able to send a lot of parts over here to our companies like Target and Walmart, who depend a lot on Chinese exports, the small little trinkets and things like that, hashtag made in China. So Target could be doing a little suffering. You had a very strong bearish gap and go back here in January, which has not filled yet. We've retested that. We gapped down. So yeah, Target could finally get a little bit more of a pullback. And if you are playing something bearish, Target is one you could at least keep your eyes on with earnings right around the corner. Adobe is one I am watching for a bearish move because you did close below this high wave bearish candle yesterday on Adobe, and now you have an inside bullish day candle on Adobe today. So therefore, we're just going to kind of keep it on it, see what it does, and go from there. PCG Corporation, here's the weekly chart, and we have hit a target, or at least a target for me in my experience and my particular opinion. Here's the daily chart, and there's a trader out there throwing this wave count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Seems reasonable. I could get it. Could be some type of correction. But PCG has been holding up extremely well with the energy sell-off. But you now have a one Black Crow candle coming in on PCG today. Looks like it could drop a little bit lower. I'll look to potentially play that thing short and see if we can make some money on the downside. And then once it comes back down to here, buy that dip. That's what I'm looking at. Google, GOOGL, have a limit buy to buy some more off of the 100 simple moving average. You got a high wave candle, bearish close below it, retesting it today. I'm telling you, folks, I know I'm a perma bull, but we can go a little bit lower. And as we go lower, I'm going to buy more. I was in 68% cash when I landed here in Wisconsin, and now I'm about 63% in cash. So I'm adding small positions on things as we go a little bit lower and keeping some eyes on some positions. Boeing is one that I snagged a little bit of today. Here's the weekly chart, and we're at a support line, buy low, sell high. Someone once told me that. And if we get down to 270 on Boeing, I will buy I'll buy some more shares on Boeing, probably about 20 more shares down there, just to have a small position on ticker symbol BA. 3D printing has earnings, I believe, relatively soon. And it looks like we're trying to gap up after hours just a little bit, which is nice. I do have some shares of 3D, so it's good that it's up 17%. I'm a fan of that. Here's the daily chart. And, man, if it could open... Wait, where's it gapping up to? 10. Wow. Okay, so 12. That's really nice. I hope it holds. A gap above 1174 should be really, really cute on 3D printing. I'd be relatively happy about that. Laureate Education had a big sell-off today. Held up really, really nicely the last 2 or 3 days. But at this point, based on this candle, says to me, obviously we'll find out what happens on earnings, but I am a large buyer on Laureate down there around $18. I'm going to be picking up at least 2,000 shares of LAUR down at that particular price. In-phase energy, ENPH, had its massive move, getting a little bit of a retest finally. First Solar, FSLR is just getting absolutely Mike Tyson punched in the face after this bearish gap and go. Man, it is free falling. Next target on First Solar, actually probably about here. Nope, never mind. Most likely going to retest a little bit and then probably trade down a little bit lower. I would say 37. What's really interesting is to see some of these, the cruise lines are just getting absolutely murdered. Unbelievable. I don't have any position on these right now, but I'm starting to look at these. Cruise lines are down 50%, and they pay dividends. You're trading into a really, really strong support. I do use cruise lines from time to time. I know exactly how they make money, and the trend is over time bullish to neutral. This is a sell-off that's equivalent to 2007 on cruise lines, and you can kind of see what happened to them back there. So if you're picking up cruise lines, it needs to be for the longer term positions overall, my friends. Just something to think about and keep in mind. Same thing with airlines right now. Southwest doesn't even fly most international places other than the Caribbean and Mexico. So, some big volume, some big potential dip buying opportunities come in. We will see how good my bear hat is. But what I can tell you on this one, folks, Tesla straight up murdering it right now. Been planning this bearish trade on Tesla for a little bit, and there's some people out there making a little bit of money on Tesla. Just there's a small amount. Anyway, folks, that's it for me on your Wednesday real life stock review. I'm gonna be back Friday, where I'm most likely going to review one of Bob's trades, talk about something that he's in, look over his excellence, and share it with the world. Folks, you are amazing. I'll see you later, and until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.